Acting and fame sometimes takes a toll on actors, sometimes leading them to lose control. Here are some actors who went absolutely crazy for no reason. Remember the Mariah Carey meltdown of 2001? She had to go to the hospital and everything.
That was fun. All right, it's harrowing. But we're gonna go back to the video. You know why?
And watch your step.
She even ended up getting psychiatric treatment. Then things got really bad for her and she even tried to take her own life. But you know what they say, the show must go on. Just a few weeks later, she was already back in the public eye, appearing on a program called MTV Total Request Live. And get this, she was passing out popsicles to the audience. Talk about bouncing back. Unfortunately, it seems like Mariah has had a few other public meltdowns throughout her career. But hey, she's still one of the most iconic singers and actresses out there, and she currently lives in the lap of luxury in Beverly Hills, California. Amanda Bynes is another actress who went haywire. She was super famous back in the 90s and 2000s. She was in a bunch of TV shows and movies, both big and small. But things started getting kind of weird for her in 2010. She got into some trouble with the law for having drugs on her, and people started calling her one of those crazy celebrities.
The former child star, now 27 years old, was charged with criminal possession of marijuana, tampering with physical evidence, and reckless endangerment.
It seemed like she was always changing her appearance and doing some pretty wild stuff in public. At one point, she even retired from acting, but then unretired, and then retired again, and then unretired again. Talk about being indecisive. Anyway, she sort of disappeared for a while, but apparently she went to some fancy school for fashion and graduated. And get this, she's actually in a happy relationship now. Who would have thought? Just like Bynes, Drew Barrymore got back up after her moment of crazy. Drew started acting when she was just a little kid in a movie called Altered States that came out in the 80s. She had a pretty good upbringing and things were going well for her in the industry. But then she hit her prime and suddenly she was like super famous. And you know how it goes. Sometimes that kind of fame can really mess with your head. It's like the more people know you, the harder it is to stay grounded. Apparently she was struggling with drug and alcohol abuse for a while there and eventually ended up in and out of rehab. She had to be locked up by her own mom in a mental hospital at one point. Pretty unbelievable. After all of that, she decided to quit acting and take a break from the whole Hollywood scene.
Do you have a trick for making yourself cry, or was it so dramatic that you really felt that you could cry?
I was thinking that if that really happened, I'm starting to cry.
But now she's back and hosting her own talk show called The Drew Barrymore Show. It's like she's turned things around and is doing better than ever. Also starting acting at a young age is Macaulay Culkin, and everyone fell in love with the actor as a child. He was such a cutie, especially in the Home Alone movies.
I can't seem to find my toothbrush, so I'll pick one up when I go out today. Other than that, I'm in good shape.
I mean, who could forget those classic films? He was the main standalone star in the Home Alone movies, and boy was he terrific. Apparently, Macaulay was even the highest paid child star in the biz when he was just 10 years old. Now that's impressive. Unfortunately, things definitely took a dark turn for him as he got older. He got arrested multiple times for drug possession, and even became a heroin addict at one point. People were saying he was one of those celebrities who just lost it. It was pretty sad seeing what the cute little boy had grown up to at some point. But it seems like he's turned things around since then. Nowadays, he's running a successful website and even became a dad recently. It just goes to show you that you can always make a comeback. Kudos to him. This next guy wasn't overwhelmed by the fame. Rather, the acting itself took control of him, till it sadly took his life from him. Heath Ledger was such an amazing actor, but it's definitely hard to separate fact from fiction when it comes to his role as the Joker in The Dark Knight. I mean, the guy died right after filming.
The actor Heath Ledger was found dead today in an apartment here in New York City. He was just 28 years old. The Australian-born actor came to huge prominence after his powerful performance in the film Brokeback Mountain. It gained him an Academy Award nomination.
So there are lots of legends and rumors that have cropped up around his performance. But one thing that's definitely true is that he took the role incredibly seriously. Apparently, he locked himself away in a hotel in London for a whole month just to get into character as the Caped Crusaders' arch nemesis. He even wrote diary entries in character every day. Now that's what I call dedication. And it's not just The Dark Knight, where he showed his commitment to his craft. In Brokeback Mountain, he managed to keep a sour, scrunched look on his face for the entire 2 months of shooting, and there was one scene where he was supposed to cry into a wall, but instead he wound up and punched the brick with all his might, injuring his hand in the process. It seems actors who play the Joker love method acting, because this next guy also went insane with his method acting. Jared Leto's performance as the Joker in Suicide Squad was a totally different story compared to Heath Ledger's. While Ledger's preparation was more focused on himself, Leto went all out on pranking his co-stars in some really gross ways.
And I've read stories online, people saying that you really got, like you were, is this true or is this urban legend, mailing rats, mailing bullets? You were just like insane. I mean, but you really embraced the Joker.
Yeah, I did embrace the Joker, and I had a lot of fun with it. And, you know, he's a fun guy.
I mean, who gives someone a live rat as a gift? Especially your on-screen love interest like Margot Robbie. Leto even sent a dead hog to other cast members and gave Will Smith a creepy envelope full of bullets. Not exactly the kind of gifts anyone would want to receive. And that's not even the weirdest part of Leto's method acting. For his role in Chapter 27, he gave himself gout. And for Requiem for a Dream, he lived on the streets and gave up. And let's not forget about his Oscar-winning performance in Dallas Buyers Club, where he dropped 30 pounds and even waxed his entire body. I mean, say what you will about the guy, but he's definitely not lazy when it comes to his craft. Now, this is an interesting story. Have you heard the story of Kel O'Neill's short-lived role in the movie There Will Be Blood? Apparently, he was originally cast as Eli Sunday, but had to be replaced by Paul Dano just 2 weeks into filming. The rumor was that he was intimidated by Daniel Day-Lewis's intense method acting and just couldn't handle it. But wait, there's more. Day-Lewis denied those claims, and years later O'Neill did as well, saying that director Paul Thomas Anderson's instructions to soak up the isolation led to his replacement. Either way, it's hard to deny that Day-Lewis's performance in the movie was downright scary. I mean, if he was in character every day, it's no wonder O'Neill was scared off. Just like O'Neill, Julie McCullough also got off a movie, but in her case, it was definitely because of her co-star Kirk Cameron. Kirk Cameron was originally cast as Mike in Growing Pains because of his ability to sound like the character despite not appearing very smart. However, once he became a breakout star on the show, his power went to his head. A little too much if you ask me. Cameron clashed with actress Julie McCullough, who played his girlfriend on the show, when he discovered she had posed for Playboy, which went against his religious beliefs. What the hell is wrong with you, man? That's no reason to try to get her fired from the show. Of course, he's apologized since then, but that doesn't exactly cancel out what he did. At least, he said he's learned to be more accepting of others who don't share his beliefs. Although their characters were meant to get engaged and marry on the show, McCullough was eventually written off. Cameron went on to marry Chelsea Noble, who played his character's fiancée on the show. And there you have it, actors who went absolutely insane for no reason.